Okay, great. Hi, my loves. Welcome back. Today is day 5 inside of Embody Your Feminine. Turn on this beautiful immersion that we've been having to. Oops, I'm going to mute someone. Okay. Who's unmuted here? Okay. All right. So welcome back to day 5 inside of Embody Your Feminine. Turn on. This has been our own beautiful sacred immersion into the radiance of your feminine heart, into your deep heart, into the shadows, the dark spaces that maybe you're holding fear and, the judgments, inner judgments, the places inside of you that you may be distant from, neglecting, abandoning, and tending to all that is really what brings your light back, my loves. Have we been feeling that? Let me know in the chat. Have you been feeling like maybe just like, or kind of seeing how tending to these deeper parts of us actually frees us and like makes us feel lighter, right? And just like, that's that turned on woman. She's just light, she's happy, she's excited, she's here, she's present. It doesn't mean she feels great all the time, but she's in relationship with herself in the most beautiful, like communing, intimate, loving, light relationship with herself. So if she wakes up feeling like icky, because sometimes we do feel icky and heavy and scared and anxious and we feel the world on our shoulders. Okay, but there's an inner relationship now where she knows how to tend to herself because she has the tools to do so, right? And she has support to lean on. I've made that very clear this week, right? That the turned on woman is very well supported. Yes, and she gets help when she feels stuck. And when she doesn't know the way, she doesn't let years go by in her life, right? And she also doesn't say, I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own. Because she knows that God didn't create her to do life on her own. Just like God created you to be in union with a good king of a man, girls, God created you to be surrounded by good women. A woman without support, without community, tell me how she feels, because I know all of us have been in that place, and you may be in that place now where something's missing. It's like that community or that connection with other women with like-hearted and like-minded and soulful women. I mean, imagine having women in your life where you're like, you relate to, they cheer you on, they support you, they get it, they understand you. They're not judging you, bypassing you. They're not shaming you. They're not competing with you. Imagine that, right? And imagine having women you can go to that you can, that will receive your heart when it's feeling heartbroken and sad, right? So yeah, let's do a little share about, hi Karina, welcome my love, welcome back. Let's do a little share about just reflecting on when you first started this immersion to now. So how you were feeling on day 1 and how you're feeling on day 5. So we can just acknowledge any shifts that have taken place. Even if it's like a small shift, we celebrate everything. In my world, I celebrate everything, which means, we celebrate the small, and there is no small. I don't even like to label it as small, but we celebrate every win, every shift. We acknowledge all of it. Okay. So you have the choice to physically enter yourself in this space and unmute and share and express through voice, or you can do it in the chat, but I highly recommend coming on video or just doing voice and sharing your shifts that you've noticed. Anything counts, girls. Don't hide anything, or not hide, don't keep anything back, okay? Do we have anyone who wants to go first? You can unmute yourself, or I'll just go in order. Miranda, you're the first one next to me. What have you noticed?
I was gonna jump on anyway. I always, every time I unmute, someone else does it, so I give it a few seconds.
Yes, I know.
But I will say, I've had a little bump, which I'm not, judging. It just is what it is. I'm used to migraines. I'm used to the pains coming. And so whenever that happens, I'm just like, time out, whatever you need, that'll be it.
Mhm.
So, you know, that happened already the day before yesterday was starting, and then yesterday was the worst. So I've just been very gentle with myself. Um,
Mm.
so that is, you know, just a little pause in the whole
Mhm.
thing for me, because I don't give myself more. But I will say, going to the forest next to the lake journaling was very sweet. And, you know, I don't feel like I've quite understood what the thing is that's kind of what's there.
Mhm.
But a couple of funny things happened, and I think it was just trying to remind me that I might not have to figure it out. I might not get that answer, but I'm being invited into more play and creative expression, and just allowing whatever that is to just be,
Mhm.
and not having to like, I'm such a mind person, I'm such a philosopher, and I have to like reflect, and that's been my learning thing this season, that that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love philosophizing, but there's something about just also dropping into the body and the heart, also with the things that I'm learning. I mean, to actually bring it down, but just generally being in my body and my heart, and not worrying so much about figuring out all the details. So that's a huge thing for me. And you know, I've been to this river many times at the same hour, even, like, and I've never experienced this, but fish were like jumping up from the water, and it looked like they were playing. I've never seen fish in this lake. I've swam in this lake,
Wow.
and they were just jumping, and I'm like, what is going on? And then this little insect
Mhm.
that looked so strange to me, looked like a tiny, tiny fairy, was
Mhm.
just hovering in the sunshine over the water, and looked like he was playing, because he was hovering and then just diving down to the water and sliding with the water and getting back up, and then doing the same thing. So I had these constant little things that were just like, don't worry about it, just
Yeah.
play,
Just
have
play.
fun and just play.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that was my whole
very
thing.
good. Very good. Very good. I love hearing that. And yeah, you know, the world is always reflecting us and giving us little messages of like, oh my God, look, the fish are playing. Like, wow. Right. So good. I'm glad that you've been reminded to, you know what, just give it a break and just go have fun. Go play, go be in your body, go dance. So I invite you to you make a devotion. I always offer these to my girls inside my paid containers, but it's like go make a devotion, like a 3-day devotion, a 5-day devotion, a 7-day devotion, and go dance and go play for 3 days or 5 or 7 days in a row, but something that's realistic for you, and go do that. And then check back in and like let us know how that goes and what shifts for you. Okay. Hi, Gato. Welcome, my love. All right. Anyone else who's felt like a shift from being in this immersion compared, like, you know, just comparing day 1 to day 5, anything that they want to share, even if it's little, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's tune into the chat. I could not follow through, but I did some journaling exercises and I really feel freed. Yay. Amazing, honey. Gabby, that was Gabby. Roshana, I first started with a heavy heart. I was so down and didn't have so much confidence in myself, but now I am improving since I started to do my journaling. Yay. Amazing. Anyone else? Michelle, you have anything you want to share, love?
Yeah, I mean, this month was a really rough month for me, and I feel like a lot of things were coming up prior to the immersion. And when I first started, I was kind of like, oh, I gotta fix all these things, and I gotta go, go, go. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I think just being in the immersion kind of slowed me down and really process what was happening, and really with the journal prompts, like focusing on what I need to focus on. And I think yesterday from the meditation, it was like this little girl, you know, I have the life that I wanted to create, but it's kind of like this disassociation. I'm not being present in the stuff that God gave me. Like, you know, like I have the great husband, but I feel like there are times I'm not as present, and I'm kind of like surrounded by great women, but like I don't know how to be in my feminine, so I can't connect with them,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
So I think I really want to focus on, you know, taking up space.
Mm,
How it might, you know, like, yeah, like just
yeah.
like right now I'm feeling like, oh, I'm talking too much. Like maybe I should just like hurry up. But
Wow.
I just
Yeah.
share. And yeah, and I think that's something I want to work on. Like I know I have to talk to you with the session that we have,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
those are some things, and I think I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
So
You are, babe.
yeah,
It's been you've been in my fields for a little bit. It's time.
yeah. So that's just something I came up this week.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about all of this, but I love that you said taking up space and how you were also present to this feeling or this voice that's saying, oh, hurry up, stop talking, da da da. Because girls, remember yesterday we talked about you're always present to something. And what's present is what needs you, Michelle. That voice is like, oh, wow, there's something here. I'm not going to turn and run from her anymore. I'm actually going to get help and turn towards her. And I may not know how to turn towards her completely because I'm a little scared and I don't know how to talk to her, but I'm going to get help to help me turn towards her and rescue her, because this is about rescuing her, honey, and saving her, you, and reparenting and remothering her in the ways that maybe you didn't receive as a child and you deeply needed from the feminine in your life. Right, my love? So I want you girls all to know that this is a remothering process. Okay, so you can also just right now reflect on like your own relationship with your mom. And like we're doing this in my cherished 9-month program, which is a level 2 to this first offering that I'm offering you girls to step into. So it's a more just high level mastermind, but we're talking about the mother wound. We're going into mama and your relationship with mother, because your mother was the first representation of the feminine to you. Right? And the truth is many of our mothers are actually not representing the true divine feminine of nurturing, nourishment, connected to her inner world, connected to the stillness, connected to the divine, relaxed, loving, compassionate. A lot of our mothers were in what? Survival. So we get imprinted with that survival. Yes? And then we associate, oh, if I saw mom surviving, yes, and self-sourcing and doing it all on her own, not asking for help, go, doing. She was the provider, she was the protector. We get imprinted on, oh, that's what the feminine is, because that's what I saw mom doing. But that's not the truth, right? So we're here, this first step, this first foundational program is to help you start actually accessing your heart and dropping out of your mind, like what Miranda talked about, and actually just being in your body again. Right? Because a lot of us, and I know for myself, I was so outside of myself. And it showed up in me controlling my partner when I was with him, controlling everything else, hyper fixating on things, not asking anyone for help, doing it all myself. And then I started isolating, where my connection with friends and family went down the drain. I suffered with anxiety, with panic attacks. So even physical pain. And just felt very disconnected from life, my loves. And I'm going back to what you shared, Mish, that feeling of, wow, I have it all, but I'm not connected to it. That's what we feel. We may have a great man, beautiful children, a great life and all that, but there's a void inside of us. And that just shows you, especially with women, when we're like, oh, the man is going to give it all. Like once we get the man, everything's going to be perfect. And then we get the man and that void is still there. And it's like, fuck, wow, ow. But the beauty is, my loves, that the void can't exist without like the fulfilling of it, my love. So that void is just calling you home, babes. That disconnection is just calling you home, right? So it's like, I want you girls to look at it like a sweet invitation from your own soul to come home. How does that sound? Anything you're dealing with right now, it's an invitation from your soul that's connected to the divine soul to come home, to know yourself deeper and wider and bigger. Because my loves, if you think that this yearning goes away, or that somehow the journey is complete at some point, I'm going to tell you, I've been on this heart healing journey since 2016. It doesn't stop. It just gets more beautiful and it expands more and it yearns more. Like you continue to yearn as a woman. You continue to want to deepen into your truth, which is always being like uncovered. Because like I told you the first couple of days, this journey is a slow journey. It's slow. We don't rush it. And like Mish was saying, like I've slowed down. I'm slowing down. Right. So yeah. And I really recommend all of you girls to book a call with me so that we can really go deeper into what you are needing personally. All right. All right, my loves, who's next? Who else wants to share a little tidbit from what they've been experiencing here or any shifts they've noticed? Ayana, my love, welcome. Daphne, you want to share anything, babe? Yeah.
Hi.
I love you.
So I have 2 points. One is that I wasn't prior to this, I was into manifestation world. And when I was in there, I always like focused on finding the right answer. Like I couldn't journal because it created so like the stress in me, like the stress of finding the right answer. Like when you ask a question in like 2 or 3 previous calls, like where do you feel it in your body? What's that? I mean, I was like, I didn't know what you meant. And for the first time I could journal, like I could literally sit and journal. But it was on the call, of course, but it felt really good to just to feel and not to focus on the right answer. It
Yes.
was nice. And I always felt that resistance towards that, but now it slowly dissolves. I mean, this is a slow process, as you said. And the second one is, I don't need to think everything. And releasing that is a big freedom for me. Like, I was always like my system. In my system, I always like to every single detail. I thought about it. I organized everything. Like, wow, this money, like this investment, this happens with your program, and like, how will I get this money around? Like, how will I calculate it? Like, should I work 2 jobs? Like, that was just so creating distress in me. And
Yes.
but I just then release and let life come in. Like I always have a B plan. I couldn't release that thing like very much, but I always have a B plan. But I want to see what life does first instead of me getting into the action. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's so big, Daphne, especially about the journey.
I mean, as a 20-year-old self-sourcing girl, it's a big thing.
Yes, it is. You're like totally creating more space for a new way. I love that, honey. And this is like what my loves, this is like 5 days together. You know, I mean, imagine what happens over 5 months, right? So
I would tell like what I felt. I hope I could express.
yes. Oh, you will, for sure. Because this is all about you deepening into the feelings that sometimes we don't have words for, but we feel it, right? And you starting to understand the language of your heart and your soul, which is a very foreign language to many women, right? Like I was with someone last night out to dinner, and a man asked her, how did it feel for you to have all these people at your 40th birthday show up for you? And she couldn't answer the feeling. She just did a whole story. And she couldn't say, wow, I felt so loved. I felt so significant. She didn't even say a feeling. She just went into the story. And I was like, wow, look at, here's a man trying to get to know her, trying to feel her heart. And she couldn't even answer it. And that was just interesting for me to witness, because I was like, oh my God, wow. Like for me, I would feel so significant, right? It would feel love coursing through my body, but it just showed me like how far women are from their feelings. And also, if you're far from in your own heart, you won't be able to express that to your significant other or to the man you're dating or to your children. And this is the lost language, my loves. We're going to uncover the lost language of your heart and soul in a very beautiful, spiritual way, right? So definitely I'm celebrating you, honey. Thank you for sharing. That's big. Susan, do you want to share anything, my love? Anything you've noticed shift within you while being here?
What might I say? I am still fighting with the the emotions, the feelings, and everything that comes along with it. Because sometimes you're normal, and then at some point, something happened that puts you back in a situation that you're still fighting to find you, to find yourself, to feel your heart, to open up and stuff like that. But as I keep listening, I
Mhm.
keep asking myself, when am I going to conquer what I'm looking for? How
Mm,
will I for it? How will I get over this? And I'm still trying to figure out that answer, but I
mhm.
know at some point I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to offer you, what if you didn't need to figure it out? And what if you could just let it be what it is, and then also learn how to be with it fully, and to just look at it like if you were looking at that part of you that's trying to figure it out, eye to eye, heart to heart, and you just stop trying to figure it out for a moment, right? And it's these little moments of like pause, like, oh, that would actually ask me to like just stop for a moment and feel what it is I'm feeling, right, Susan? So I invite you, honey, to like for the next minute or so, just I'm gonna give you just an invitation to answer a question of, what is it that I feel right now in response to trying to figure this out? What does my body feel? And I want you to tune into sensations in your body, like hot, cold, tight, heavy, contracted, constricted, foggy, antsy, and see if you can identify some sensations in your body, and then share it with me in the chat, and then I can we'll go from there. Okay. This will just help you actually start to feel, because the healing comes through feeling. It doesn't come through figuring it out. I'm going to say that again, girls. The healing comes through feeling and unwinding the trauma or whatever happened in your body. That's what the healing comes from. It doesn't come from figuring it out. The figuring it out part also actually just takes you more into a never ending spiral. That's why we're still trying to figure it out, right? Okay, Caro, hello, my love. Anything you want to share? Just a small share about this immersion. Although
I feel like I've noticed since I've been doing the work for a year,
yeah.
I feel like I can see those. Like yesterday, I know you mentioned how like after you do all the inner work stuff, life begins to reflect how you are. And I feel like right now with my new job role, my new opportunities, like I can see how it's all a reflection of who I am and like how I've begun to value myself. Like I have the opportunity to make so much money now, whereas like I've had the opportunity to be in this role for many years because my mom does it. So she's been in this field for a long time and they've always been trying to get me to it, but I've always been like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. But now since I've matured and I have a relationship with the masculine, especially in like the financial standpoint of the masculine, like I'm so much more open to being provided for and to be able to accept that money to where it feels good in my body and not like, I don't know, maybe like that money is going to come with like strings attached, or it's just going to slip through my hands because I'm not going to know how to like handle my finances, for lack of a better word. So it's been nice to see how all these opportunities are reflecting my growth and like all of the tears and feelings and grief and like maturity that I've had to like process over the past year. It's kind of cool because I remember being where you ladies are. Like I remember feeling like super hyper focused, super like I was structure. If you like structure and discipline, like I was your go-to girl. I lived like super rigid. And now while I love the structure that it like the way it holds me, I'm also more flexible and open to life, to where I'm not like, okay, I gotta get up at this time, go to the gym, but before that I gotta journal and I gotta be able to like put everything in and like do the times and like do all of that stuff. Whereas now, while that's nice, if it doesn't happen like that, it's okay. It doesn't like throw off my entire day or like
It's not tied.
my entire life.
It's not tied to your worth
Yeah,
anymore.
not
tied to your worth anymore.
Exactly. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Finger snaps for you. Finger snaps for you. Love you, honey. Yeah, my love. So imagine being able to be in the world with, and what you do is no longer tied to who you are and how you show up. It's like you're just worthy because you're worthy. And if you do the things, you do them. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. You just get to come back to your heart and you just get to know that you're worthy no matter what, and that you're loved no matter what, because you love yourself no matter what. And you don't have this constant judge and this constant ideal woman in the back of your head that's always saying, you didn't do that. You didn't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Bum, bum, bum. I'm going to shame you now. I'm going to judge you. I'm going to punish you, because that's what she does. She punishes. Coming home, healing through the feminine path removes all the judgment, all the shame, all the trying to figure it out. All the punishment, removes it and replaces it with mercy, love, grace, and compassion. How would your life change? And I want you girls to answer this in the chat. How would your life change if you started to hear a voice of love, mercy, grace, and compassion in your head, rather than one of shame, judgment, and punishment? And like, who's always saying you're not enough? How would your life change right now if those voices were swapped? Let me know in the chat. Because Caro is a beautiful example of that, because she's done the inner work. She's doing the inner work. She's committed. She's devoted to it. She said, you know what? I need help. I can't do this on my own. I want to feel radiant. I want to know myself. I want to know the lost language of my heart. I want to know how to tend towards myself with love rather than shame, because we're living in a very shameful world. Who has experienced shame before? By the outer and by the inner, right? Very good. Gabby, I think you shared in the chat about your journaling. Yes. Karina says, I feel I have a more conscious awareness of my heart. Beautiful, my love. Susan, I now started to build that confidence back. Very good. Yeah. Mish, stop the racing thinking if I'm doing the right or wrong thing. Yeah. I would do all the things my heart desires and have desired for so long, to creatively express myself, to try new things, and ultimately to step into my God-given purpose confidently. Exactly. Miranda, does that sound like what a turned on woman would do? Yeah, right? You would embody your turned onness. You would embody your creative expression. You would embody your purpose and your passion. You would be dancing. Oh my God, there's a little rabbit bouncing around. You would be painting, doing art, dancing, music, like all those things you listed in the beginning of the week, right? You'd be doing them, right? So I love the first thing she wrote. I would do all the things my heart desires, my love. So you pay attention to the voices. It's like, what voices do I have in my head? Well, those are the voices that are stopping you from fully living and fully receiving, being able to receive your husband and all the gifts that you have, that you've been provided for. Wow, feeling that deep appreciation and graciousness in your heart, and being able, Michelle, to look at him in his eyes and say, I am so grateful to be your woman, to be your wife. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you to God for all the gifts. That's that woman who's fully connected to her heart, and she feels deeply. Her feelings don't take her over. They don't stop her, right? They actually crack her open even more, so she can be the outpouring, the vessel for more love, my loves. That's what happens to you when you choose this path. You start to widen your vessel, your vessel, your body, to receive more and more love, and to be able to distribute that love. It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. That's who the feminine was created to be. Right? And yes, Daphne. Yeah. When there's like God talks to us in the stillness and the quietness. He also talks to us through the birds and the bees and the sunset and the breeze and the wind. But when we excuse me, when we are still and quiet inside, because how many of you have been in at the ocean or in the forest or by a campfire in nature, and it's quiet around you, but it's not quiet inside of you? This work and what we do inside of my program is to help you deal with all the unprocessed stuff that's keeping you from the inner stillness, because that's the inner peace. And that's when you can then receive your next steps, right? The opportunities, the gifts, feeling God's love, hearing, okay, Vana, do this, or okay, Daphne, do this. Like this morning, I went out to pray and do my journaling like I do every morning, mostly every morning, outside in nature. And the moment I sat down and leaned back, it was wild. I mean, and this happens all the time, but it was just, I posted on it after. And I just breathed and I said hello to God, and I just paused and I just felt the breath, the breeze. And it's like instantaneously, all these ideas start to come through. All these words start to come through, all these messages. And it's like, okay. And I start writing. That's God speaking to me. Like, Vana, these are your next steps. Vana, this is the idea. Vana, this is the inspiration I need you to share with your women. This is what I need you to talk about. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. It's like he's the artist. He's using me as his paintbrush. And that was the post today. God is the artist. I'm the paintbrush. I'm the divine paintbrush that he gets to create the most beautiful masterpiece out of. Miranda, that's who you are. But you got to get out of your own way, right? We have to swap the voices. And in order, it's not as easy as just swapping the voices. It takes time and it takes presence. And it takes turning towards the voices that are of shame, judgment, right? And punishment. We have to look at those things. We cannot just, oh, I'm just going to swap it for the good voices. I wish it was that easy. If it was, you girls probably wouldn't be here right now, right? Because it's just that easy to swap the voices. We know that it's not that easy to swap the voices, right? So yeah, we go into all of that in my longer program, A Return to Your Feminine Heart. So if you need help with that too, definitely come on in and join me in that journey. Mish, oh yeah, she said, stop the racing thinking if I'm doing the right or wrong thing. Yeah. Okay, beautiful, my love. So does anyone else want to share? Anna, do you want to share any shifts or anything you've just felt come up in this immersion? You can unmute yourself, my love. If not, I am going to continue with our call today.
Yes. Let me just step into my room real quick.
Okay, my love.
The question is like shifts and
Yeah, just acknowledging any
feeling.
shifts that you felt from like receiving this wisdom this week and being in sisterhood, you know, even though you're on this path and you're doing the work, but anything you wanted to like just acknowledge that you've noticed.
I've noticed a deeper trust in myself. It is a journey, so there's always a reminder as we do the work together and different ways to deepening that trust. I noticed myself feeling lighter and kind of similar to what Caro said of feeling more open to when things don't go perfectly in a planned, structured way. I am taking pleasure in what I love and incorporating that every day in my life. And I feel more brighter and radiant when I take the time with myself. And even this morning, like I wake up and I didn't like jump out of bed. I just like stay, and I have the Jesus Calling book right next to me. So I just open and I read it. Immediately I have like stillness and a prayer that washes over me, and I go about my day, and I feel like going to the grocery store, I'm driving, and like I do notice, you know, like heads turn and men helping me and things like that. So it just feels good to receive naturally, being in my essence.
Yes, being in your essence. That's it. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, my love. I love it. Just being in your essence. Thank you, Anna, because you always inspire me. Being in your essence is literally being who you are authentically. That's it. I get to just be me, my loves. What do you think? And this is a question that my mentor asked me once. What do you think kills the human spirit? Let me know in the chat. What do you think kills a woman's human spirit? Let's just focus on women. Anxiety, depression, What else? What do you think kills? Inauthenticity. There you go. Performing, pretending to be something she's not because she's so afraid to be herself. Because she doesn't even know herself. She doesn't even know who she truly is, because she's caught up between who she truly is, her ego, and her shadow, all the stuff that's undealt with. Inauthenticity, my loves, not being your true self is what kills a woman's spirit. And today was all about, how do we access our spirit? How do we know who we are? Well, you have to deal with who you are not in order to know who you are. I'm going to say that again. You have to sit and sit and be with who you are not, your shadows, the past hurts, the voices that tell you you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not valuable, you messed up this way, your shame. You have to deal with all that in order to know who you really are, because all of that is literally sitting like muck on top of your truth. So this is who you are, the core of you, your heart, right? Your deep heart, because on top of your deep heart sits all the heartbreak, all the stuff. And then pack on all the voices, all the stories and narratives, all the judgments, all the shame, all of that. You must deal with all of this in order to get to your deep heart. That's the only way. So accessing your spirit actually means dealing with, sitting with, not dealing with, sitting and being with and getting to know everything you are not. And that's the pain. That's normally the stuff that's stuck in the closet that we don't want to look at, or that we don't have the capacity to look at. And that's why I have these containers to help you, take you to where you cannot take yourself. Because when I started this journey, I could not take myself where I needed to be taken, because I was so scared to look inside. I was so scared of what was going to come out. I was so scared of actually feeling all the stuff that was inside of me. Right. And I found my mentor after, and I spent 4 years with her under her care, because I was obviously called to this work too. And I've always been a teacher, but there was a lot of old stuff, old voices, old shame, old grief, old heartbreaks, old wounds that needed to be dealt with, because I was 27 when I started this journey, 27 years, generational stuff, right? So your feminine spirit is a reflection of who you are. It's your natural spirit, your natural essence, like Anna said, it's who you are. But in order to get there, you got to deal with who you are not, right? So yeah, I want to pause there for a moment and just like see if that resonates with anybody. Does that land for anybody? And again, you get to choose, right? This is in your hands. It's always in your hands, my loves, always in your hands. Yeah, so in the, okay, so definitely said self-sourcing, not feeling safe in her body. Yes, for sure. So I want to do, I have this little thing that was created by one of my former, well, no, current mentors now. So this is a good way. I want us to do this together because I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is great. It's going to be like in a little, I don't like the word assessment, but let's like, what's another word for assessment that's not so like I'm assessing myself? Like just going over, like just checking in, right? So I want you to, I'm going to read some things and let me see how I want to do this. And what you're going to do in the comments, when you hear me say something, and if you are dealing with this thing, you're just going to say me. Okay? Got it? All right. So the first thing, you think you need to struggle. There's a part of you that thinks you need to struggle. Just let me know if you connect with that and just say me, yes or yes. You think you need to struggle. Yes, me, yes. Okay, second one, you think suffering makes you worthy. You think suffering makes you worthy. Me. Make sure you're sending the messages to everyone so everyone can just connect on this level. Double yes. And as we go through this, my loves, just feel the acknowledgement of this because this is going to start to open up that stuckness, that heaviness. You are busy doing, you forget how to just be. You are busy doing, you forget how to just be. Me. Me. Hi, Danielle. Welcome, my love. Definitely me. Beautiful. Susan, yes, me. Very good. Remember, my loves, this is all with so much love and compassion. This is not to single anyone out. There's no shame. There's no judgment. This is how we get really honest about where we are in our healing journey. You prefer to do everything yourself. Mish, yes, me. Roshana, me. That was me for sure. All of these, the ones I just read, all me. You hate asking for help. You hate asking for help. So me. You, oh my God, me. I always say sorry. You hate being dependent on anyone. You hate being dependent on anyone. Me. So this list is really just going to tell you where you are in connection with your feminine or where you're out of connection with your feminine. Okay. We're just like kind of like going over that. And I will also offer here, you may not be here now, but reflect on who you were before. Gato, Anna, me, right? Remember the time when you did feel like this, to open up compassion for that woman and how far you've come, okay? You feel drained and exhausted. Double me. Me, Susan, yes. Very good, girls. You lack joy and do not feel really, you lack joy and do not really feel it's important to life goals. You lack joy and do not really feel it's important to life goals. Yes. Roshana, yes. It's hard for you to show compassion towards others' mistakes and behaviors. I'll also add to that, it's hard for you to show compassion towards yourself. Me. Okay. It's hard for you to forgive. It's hard for you to forgive. I feel drained and exhausted, but a lot of that is due to my physical pain that is not being taken. Good, babe. Me, Mish. No. Okay. You find it hard to forgive yourself. You find it hard to forgive yourself. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. I love the honesty, my loves. Yes, at all times. You neglect self-care. You neglect self-care. Yes. Me, Susan, Danielle, sometimes. You always feel the need to be productive. You always feel the need to feel productive. Yes, times 5. Susan, yes. Yes, Danielle, yeah. You rely on logic more than your intuition. You rely on logic more than your intuition. Me, Mish. Yes, Danielle, yes. You are trying to control life. Gray zone, me. You are trying to control life. Me, yes. You feel like you cannot afford to rest and stop and pause. You feel like you cannot afford to rest, stop, and pause. Me, yes. Yeah. You have the need to prove yourself. Roshana, yes. Susan, sometimes. Mish, yes. You have the need to prove yourself. Me, Susan. I'm holding all of your hearts, my loves, as we go through this list, okay? Just know that. You are disconnected from your body. You are living in your head. You are disconnected from your body and living in your head. Me. Yes. Sometimes. You feel guilty doing things just for pleasure. You feel guilty doing things just for pleasure. Yes. No. Yes. You have lost your sensuality. You have lost your sensuality, or you just judge it, or you judge it. You judge your sensuality, or you have lost your sensuality. Lost it, not anymore. You suppress your emotions or feel ashamed to cry. You suppress your emotions or you feel ashamed to cry. And I would add to that, you don't cry at all. You haven't cried in like months or years. Okay, definitely no. Yeah, just let me know if this connects with you. Okay, you are uncomfortable receiving from others, receiving help, gifts, support. You contract when someone's going to give you a gift or someone wants to provide something for you. You have trouble receiving. You feel uncomfortable receiving. Sometimes. It's getting better at this, okay? You sometimes, very rarely though, okay? It is easier for you to give rather than receive. It is easier for you to give rather than receive. Miranda, a little still. Yes, me. Good, my loves, very good. I love how honest and how truthful you all are being. Depends sometimes. You feel resistance towards your mother, womanhood, or motherhood, or feel it's beneath you. You feel resistance towards your mother. This is a big one. Okay, to my mother, yes. Definite no. Okay. Do you feel resistance towards your womanhood or motherhood? We're almost done. Okay. You feel the need to impress men. You feel the need to impress men. I feel disconnected with my mother, but not motherhood. Okay. Yes, yes. You feel you need to impress men. You struggle with romantic relationships. You struggle with romantic relationships. Yes, yes, okay. Getting better, yes. You push yourself too hard. You push yourself hard. Yes, yes, yes. So me. You are disconnected from your sexuality. You are disconnected from your sexuality. That inner sexual woman who owns her desires for pleasure and for orgasm and for connection and for touch. Getting better at it. Yes, sometimes. You don't think you are creative, or you are not expressing yourself creatively. Sometimes. Yes, yes. You don't have sometimes, okay, you don't have many female friends. You don't have very many female friends. Yes, yes. No, okay. Yes, Susan. And you break it for me, but still have some blockages, creativity. Yeah. You don't, okay, so we went that one. It's hard for you to express vulnerability. Roshan, I have no friends. Oh, my love, I'm so sorry, but you have all of us right here, right? Roshana, we're here for you. You have new friends now. And us. It's hard for you to express vulnerability, to open your heart and to show and to say what you're feeling in any moment. It's hard for you to do that. Yes. Yes. Let's be honest. Yes. Yeah. That's normally the biggest one, my loves. Okay, last one. Ready? You judge yourself. You judge yourself. Yes. Shame dies when stories are told in safe places. Amen. Yes. All right, my love. So I could probably add to that list, and I actually am. Dang. So let's just hold space right now and feel all of that, and just feel into all the yeses that you stated. Okay. This is just like a truth meter to show you where you're at, my loves, in relationship to your feminine and to your heart and to yourself. And it can be a really big ouch. It can feel like, ow. And let it feel like an ow. It's okay. And like Miranda said, a very big hug to that ouch that you're feeling. I was once there. I could say yes to all those things a few years ago. I was the biggest bully to myself. Right? But I want to invite you to rewrite your story, to rewrite your life and who you are as a woman. Okay, because that's what this journey is about. It's about creating your story, her story, her story. You get to rewrite her story, not history, her story. You get to come home to your heart. You get to connect with your heart. You get to rewrite all of this so that in another 5 months, you can come back to this list and you can be like, wow, I've turned all of that around. I don't judge myself anymore. I don't feel the need to impress men. I can receive. I feel comfortable receiving over giving. I create myself expressively. I'm doing the thing. I dance, I sing daily. I don't push myself so hard. I'm nice. I'm kind to myself. I'm loving to myself. All right, Gato, I love you, honey. Who wants that? Who wants that? Right? So yeah, my loves, feel into that yearning, my loves, because I'm here for you. Everything I create is here for you. I'm working with the divine to walk you, lead you, guide you, answer the questions, show you the how, to hold you, to provide a very safe, loving space for you to unwind and unravel all of the things that we answered here. Okay. And I want to talk to you and I want to get to know you on a deeper level, one-to-one. And if you felt any of that, I highly recommend you booking a call with me to see how I can help you further and to go over my next invitation, which is a 5-month container where we go through all of this. And we will help you turn your yeses to nos, which just mean you are in harmony and congruency and in alignment with your feminine heart, my loves, because that's what this is about. I want you to walk out of suffering and walk out of being so tough and hard on yourself, and to feel the most love and peace and to be at ease within your body and with your past, so that you can walk as a turned on woman, loving, free, open, peace, magnetic, radiant, and in love with herself, but from a deep place of reverence. Okay, so here's the link to book, to chat. And yeah, I don't take everyone, you know, it has to be a fit. So there's absolutely no pressure, but I do recommend, you know, coming to have a beautiful chat with me so we can get to know each other, and I can give you a little plan and help you in any way that I can. So this call is to be of service to you. Definitely, yeah, it is 16 weeks, but there may be some weeks off. So it'll be spread over 4 months, just to give us some spaciousness if we need it. And yeah, my loves, do we have any questions, any reflections, anything anyone wants to say as we start to close this immersion out? You can drop it in the chat. You can unmute yourself. I'm going to see if I wrote anything else down that I want to leave you with today. Yeah. I have to head out to an appointment. Vanya, sending so much love. Love you, honey. Yes, definitely, of course. We'll book one of our one-on-ones together, honey. How about we do that? All right, my love. So let me feel if there's anything else that feels like it wants to come through into you. I just wanted to say that we are also worth it, so worth this in a work, so worth stepping into our authenticity. Yeah, my love, we are. You are worthy of help. You are worthy of support. You are worthy of sisterhood. You are worthy of community. You are worthy of being kind and nice to yourself, right? You are worthy of receiving, my loves. And I want to leave you with this, like the feminine was created to receive. And think about man and woman, like even think about physically. Man penetrates the woman, she receives him. The woman was created to receive him. Right? Now, if we take that into like the macrocosm, the feminine was created to receive, period. The sperm goes to the egg, right? She was created to receive him. She was created to receive life and all of its gifts. You were created to receive. And all you have to do is acknowledge your heart's desires for growth and to feel better in your world, in your life, in your relationships. You get to receive. All you got to do is say yes. And stop thinking that you have to do all of this on your own, because you don't. All right, does anyone want to say anything as we close out, my loves? I'm feeling very just in my purpose. You know, every time I do these immersions, I'm just like, oh my God, I love doing this. This is what I'm meant to do. I have absolutely loved connecting with all of you. Like, you girls have touched my heart in so many beautiful ways. I live for creating these containers for women to express themselves vulnerably and to say the truth and to open up and to show themselves, right? So I really honor all of you girls for showing up, for signing up and showing up, and for being devoted and committed to your own inner work, because it takes great responsibility for your own life to do this type of work and to stop putting yourself on the back burner, right? And it's very easy for us to do that, especially as women, as mothers, as wives, as caretakers, yes? This calls you, deeper maturation into the feminine, calls you to be able to be a caretaker of others, but also to be the greatest caretaker of yourself, because you're worthy of that, right? You're welcome, Karina. I'm so happy that you were here. So if I can be of any help and support, if anything comes up for you, you girls all have my email. You can email me, Facebook Messenger me, Instagram me. Here's my Instagram handle, My Feminine Body. Make sure you're following me because I do a lot of posts on there. You can always message me there. It's kind of like my playground, and then Facebook. The group will remain open. The recordings will remain there. Right now, I'm going to leave them there. Normally I take them down after a week, but I'm going to leave them there. I'm also going to email the replays out to those of you who may not have Facebook. So stay tuned for that. You will have your final heart work today, which includes the journal prompts and one more audio. Okay, so there will be 3 audios. 2 audios are already posted inside the Facebook group under guides, under audios. Okay, so tune into that. Take time to do the heart work and the journaling prompts. Book a call with me. I want to know you. I want to help you. I want to serve you. Okay, it's a gift from my heart to yours. And if you're interested in continuing, we can talk about it. If you're not, super cool, no problem. And that's it, my loves. I think I'm complete. Like, is there anything else you want to say, Vani? That's it. And I've loved having you here, my loves. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the future. I would love to have each and every one of you apply for a return to your feminine heart. I would love to guide you, walk you. And if you need anything more details, just message me, reach out to me, and ask, and you shall receive. All right, my loves. Love you all. And I will see you soon. Bye, honeys. Bye.